Okay, we are here. Welcome everyone to In the Lab with MYAVANA. This is our third episode. Super excited. We're on a new platform, so I have pictures. I'm very excited. Let me introduce myself. My name is Tanisha Billups. I am the hair analyst for MYAVANA. I'll introduce my guest. I have Miss Robin D. Groover with us. She's our chief hair officer, and Coach Stacy, who is our hair consultant. You will all meet her, as well as our fearless leader, Miss Candace Harris, our CEO. Thank
Hey
you
y'all.
all so much for joining me on this episode. Our subject for today is dull hair. So I'm hoping you all attended our show, our live chat yesterday on Instagram. So you heard a little bit about Miss Robin talking about dull hair. I'm going to get deep into the science and the nitty gritty of it. So let's go. We are on the case, right? All right. So,
Mhm.
does anyone have a personal story they would like to share quickly about dull hair?
Mm.
Oh my gosh. So let me just share with you about my dull hair. So, oh Lord. I mean, I've been experiencing so many challenges. I work out a whole lot and stuff. And I started noticing my hair was dull and it wasn't looking as shiny. But because I work out almost every single day, I'm going in, I'm re-wetting my hair, I'm applying a little bit of product and so forth. Little did I know. Well, not little did I know. Let's just say I do know. However, sometimes we like to bear off the deep end, and my hair was very dull. It didn't have no shine to it. It looked dry, but in all essence, it was product buildup.
Right.
Yep,
Excellent.
that's how I feel right now too. Because I already know what the answer is. My hair's been a little dull right now. It's because I've been putting off my wash day, but that's going to be my priority this weekend.
Right.
But I'm excited to soak up this knowledge today.
Right. Well, listen, my hair is up, so you know it's washed day. Alrighty, so let's talk about dull hair. First of all, dull hair is normally a symptom, just like you all said, of another challenge. So that might be product buildup, dryness, or even damage. So let's talk about the strand, right? Each strand of your hair is made of a protein that's covered in like tiny scales that look like roof tiles. So think of your cuticle layer, right? So if your cuticle layer is soft and it's nice and smooth, it's healthy. That means it's going to be reflecting light, which means you won't be experiencing the dullness hair, the
Mm.
dull hair. So broken skin, right,
Right.
right there.
Yeah.
Broken scales, they become lifted. So that is what the rough surface looks like from a microscopic image of your dull hair. And I have a picture. I'm really excited to show you all. So these scales can also become weighted down and coated, which is the product buildup, right? So let me share my screen. Candace, if you will, pull up our picture of a healthy cuticle layer.
Mm.
This is a zoomed in, image of a healthy cuticle layer. So if your hair is unhealthy, what does that look like? That cuticle layer is going to look lifted like this. So those are going to be the rough edges. That's why your hair isn't shining, and you're getting that dullness from either, like we said, product buildup, dryness, or damage. So, dull hair also, I'm going to flip back. Dull hair also tends to lack moisture, shine, and body, which is a perfect example that Miss Stacy gave us in working out every day and adding product on and wetting it to refresh. So, you're going to lack luster. It's going to have a rough or a coarse feeling. It might look frizzy, feel heavy. And one other thing about dullness is there are color levels. So when I say that, I mean if your hair is light colored, light tends to absorb light, therefore it's not reflecting a lot of shine.
Mm.
Medium provides more of a satin finish, so those like browns. And then if you have a dark hair, so a dark brown, almost black, it provides a high gloss due to the reflection of the light, right? So
Mhm.
a little bit on the color levels. Let's move on. Oh, how can my Ivana help you, right? I have dull hair. Well, how can my Ivana help me get rid of this dull hair? Aside from us being on the case, we have our MYAVANA hair analysis kit, right?
Mhm.
So order your hair analysis kit so I can see what your hair strands look like in the lab. I am going to show you some images of what some hair strands I've seen look like in the lab, and hopefully yours don't look like that. But if they do, we are here to help you all the way on your hair journey to get to all your goals, right? Okay,
Yes. Tanisha, can I add a little something before we
please,
move on?
of course.
Okay, so you all have said a lot, and I just want to share with the audience. I promise my Ivana is on the case, and our dull hair people on this channel right now, we know exactly what to do in our hair plans. What I wanted to share with dull hair, you said a lot of great things from an external and an internal standpoint.
Mhm,
When you think about the hair being dull from buildup,
mhm,
think about it like an overlay of wax or overlay of film on the hair. And like with
Mhm.
Candace's hair, even though it is not as shiny as it is when she has her fresh wash day and her shampoo and conditioning, you talked about the color of her hair. When we look at her in the camera, it still looks like a great head of hair that has some medium satin shine to it.
mhm,
But because it's dark, it can go to a super high gloss shine. And
mhm,
that's what I wanted to share also, because the shine factor is definitely from inside the strand, dictated by the health of the hair. And
mhm,
so we just want to make sure that we clarify externally on the strand what doles it out,
mhm.
and then how we at My Ivana help inside the strand so the hair can shine from the inside out.
Right.
And next week, when they see your hair, it's going to be bananas, because when you see her strands, because of the health of her hair, even though she's in a brown category, it will be magnificent in shine. And I think that sharing this about dull hair
Mhm,
versus shiny hair,
mhm.
everybody's going to be looking at everybody's hair now. Like, is it
Right.
shiny or is it dull? And so I
Absolutely.
want to share that as we move on. Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay, perfect. So I don't think I went over case, what that means. So we're on the case, meaning challenge, analysis, solution, and education. So that goes right along or lines up with our care. So consult, analyze, recommend, and educate. So while we are on the case, we will also care for your hair, right? So I just
Yes,
had to throw that in
that
there.
part.
Okay, so we covered the challenge. The challenge is though I went over definition, what it looks like. So let's talk about the analysis. So what causes dull hair? Product wise, that could be product buildup, meaning you're using too much product. It could also be using the wrong product for your texture type and condition. Where we come in and help with that. Once you get your hair analysis kit, you get your healthy hair care plan, excuse me, and we'll recommend the right products based on your texture, your type, and condition. I also want to point out when it comes to products, proper rinsing, right? So you're not leaving any residue on the hair when you're going through the cleanse phase. So let's show some images. Very excited about this of what improperly shampooed hair looks like.
Mm.
Okay, so this is properly shampooed hair. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Mhm.
Excellent. Properly shampooed hair, right? That all of the cleanser has been washed off, the cuticle layer is laying down. Improperly shampooed hair looks like this. So
Mhm.
you can see that build up, right? On top. And
Mhm.
that's just shampoo. We haven't even gotten to conditioner, styling products, or anything like that. All right. So I have another. This is what we would call massive product buildup in the lab. Head of hair has a lot going on, right?
Yes. Like a
Not
lot
only
packed into that
Right.
ball.
right. So this is lint, which I haven't even touched on, just hair care maintenance and technique. But this is
Mhm.
lint, this is product, this is detangling, these are a lot of issues with this hair.
This is a hair
Yeah.
situation.
Yes. Major
Hair
pollution.
situation.
Right, exactly.
Mhm.
Okay. So our next one, so this is color treated hair that has product buildup on it. So you can see like the globs of buildup in the white along the strands. This is color
Mhm.
treated. Sorry. All right. And then, so not color treated. We see some breakage from damage here. You can see the globs of
Mhm.
product left on this hair. And here's another one, some product
Wow.
buildup. Right, right. So I cannot emphasize enough the importance of detox in 20.
Yes.
Absolutely.
What what is detox? Because that's honestly a term that I heard for the first time through our research at MYAVANA.
Mm-hmm.
So what? Who has ever heard of how to detox your hair? First of all, what is that?
So, I'm gonna leave the screen up. So I would say that I think I hadn't heard of it, but I was doing it anyway, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
When I first heard
Mhm.
of it, though, I probably let Miss Robin speak on this. She's an expert when it comes to detox. I think she kind of, she's the one that brought the word.
Yes, in
Yeah.
many ways.
Hmm. Yeah.
The thing about detoxing, I thought about it from a standpoint of I actually tried this shampoo from a mainstream company that I love their products, and they called it a detox shampoo. So it actually started from a product company, which I thought was incredible because I've used a lot of different clarifying shampoos. And when I did the research, detox, clarify, and deep cleanse were three different categories. And
Right.
the detox gave the deepest cleanse from the inside out, leaving the palate really clean and really acceptable of other nutrients with your second shampoo and second conditioner. Um, the thing about that category, I realized they were not created equally because there are a lot of clarifying shampoos that actually strip the hair and leave them rough feeling and
Mhm.
grainy. And I was like, wow. So that's the cool thing about my Ivana is we know that each and every product, each and every technique is not created equally. So we go inch wide, mile deep, making sure that everybody's hair identity and their hair ID has exactly what they need. But we can say for surely when it comes to detoxing the hair, that is a step in technique that lays the foundation for all healthy hair and shiny hair, because that was one of the
Mhm.
things that being a cosmetologist that concentrated on shiny, beautiful, oh my God, stopping your tracks hair, that wasn't an option.
Right.
Mm, interesting.
So I
Mhm.
also wanted to point out that product buildup can be different in the sense of the type of product. So what we've seen are heavy products, probably gels, butters that they've been applying to their hair without properly detoxing. But it can also look like this. So if you all can see those shiny places where it's like
Mhm.
layers of oil on top of the hair strand. So that's what we have to be we like to use a lot of oil. Keeping in mind we
Right.
had a chat on oil being a sealant versus a moisturizer, even though there are
Mhm.
some that are considered nourishing. This is what the strand looks like when it has layers of oil on it.
Mm. Yeah, you can kind of see the
Mhm.
little look like puddles.
Like right, can you see my mouse? Like right here, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Right.
Because that's the thing, like with oil, right? If you're using a lot, that it eventually turns to solid, right? Like if
Mhm.
it and it's just there, then it's just sitting on your hair.
Right. Like
Right.
this layer
Yeah.
right here.
And think about this true story. I just did a consult where well no, it wasn't even a consult. It was kind of like a face to face. I was speaking with someone and they were telling me about how their mother when they were younger used to use when she ran out of grease, she used to use Crisco on the girl's hair and the scalp.
Oh no.
And I had a chuckling moment, but then she also agreed that it actually happened. I said, well, when you went outside and played, you were baking in the sun. Did it hurt? She was like, well, actually, my scalp was fried. So
Whoa.
think about like, and I gave you that term because like that oil sitting on top of the hair, and think about the summertime when you're going outside and it's scorching hot, and you're right in that deep hot sun.
Right.
Right. Lord
Baking.
Jesus.
So
Right.
that's a whole nother problem.
Right. So
Stacey, you did a really good point about the scalp. Tanisha, I know that if the strands are dull, the scalp is super dull because you can tell by the strands what's happening on the scalp.
right.
Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so now that we've talked about products, let's move on to dry hair. Alrighty, so dry hair, improper hair care technique. So my image for this one is mechanical abrasion. So this is a hair strand that has been mechanically rubbed up against another hair strand.
Mm.
So I'll talk about the solutions in our for case, S and E. I just want to go over what the analysis and what that looks like, and all of us will give great information on the solution. But this is mechanical abrasion. So your hair, when it's rubbing up against itself, or when you're sleeping and it's rubbing up against that pillowcase, when you're lean against something, or like the back of your collar, things like that, that rub against your hair strands, this is what that damage looks like.
Interesting. And I'm seeing your comments, you all. We have Marsha Dore in the house. Wow.
Hey!
Oh my God, Marsha,
We miss you, girl.
Right.
Um,
Yes.
and this is so interesting, right? This is in the lab, y'all. Y'all getting the inside scoop on these
Right.
trends.
Okay, so our next image, this is what an improper wet combing and heat drying strand looks like. So when
Mm.
you are not detangling your hair properly, when it's wet, using the right type of tools, and then when you're drying it and using too much heat or using the wrong heating tools, which we discussed in our healthy heat styling last week, these are what your strands look like. So all of this has to contributes to why your hair might be dry and therefore causing your hair to look dull. It is mechanically lifting and damaging the cuticle layer. This picture is knots. So this isn't even a single strand knot. This is just knots. So that's that rubbing again can cause the knots, rubbing against hair, rubbing against each other, rubbing on something, and then improper detangling as well can cause these single strand or knots in your hair strands.
Yes, and we should have that topic coming up soon because I'm seeing that, because when you don't wash, that means your detangling is only going to get even harder.
Right.
And so I'm kind of seeing these little knots forming, and I'm like, uh-oh.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
But
Oh yeah, I'll be to LA soon. I cannot even hear that. I'm like,
right,
I'm
like
the
I know, right.
detangler is coming. The detangler is coming. Uh, yes, that's a whole subject right there.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
yes,
We'll
Yes.
we will do that soon.
stay tuned. Stay tuned. Okay, so um for our analysis, well, no, this isn't our last one. We have one more, but damage. Okay, so this is a hair strand that has been bleached hair that's exposed to UV radiation. So that means too
Oh,
much sunlight. Um, Obviously, bleached it was colored, so you can literally see there are holes in the strand.
yes.
So
Mm-hmm.
overuse
Bullet
of
wounds.
chemicals,
Ah,
Right.
I know. My
and
God.
techniques.
Right.
Exactly. And then environmental conditions such as dry or cold air, too much sunlight. So
Mm-hmm.
that is that one. Let's talk about damage. Heat styling, thermal heat styling. That's an image of the cuticle layer close up. You can see it has holes. Some of it's raised. It looks like
Sad.
yeah.
Sad. That's a good
Just looks
word.
sad. Just looks sad. This is what heat damage looks like a little bit further away on the scope. So you can see we have splitting, breakage,
Yeah.
loss of the cuticle layer, loss of um, the color, the melanin in the strand. So heat damage on your hair strand that's not even color treated looks like this.
Wow.
And
You
then
said a lot. Can we
heat,
breathe through that just a little bit? Woo!
yes, okay,
That
Oh, baby.
is bananas.
yes.
Okay.
I
I
mean,
got my breath now.
and then this is some not as far heat damage as the previous image, but on color treated hair. So you can see the strand has literally like been burnt and flattened
Mm-hmm.
in this one. And they also have some product buildup as well. So I'm sure that doesn't help in the heat styling.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
color treated, not massive damage, right? But definitely some major damage, some contorting of the strand here where you can see it goes from flat and back up.
Mm-hmm.
So that's damage. And then our last topic, which we can go over, ladies, and I know Stacy, this is your expertise, is overall strand health and body wellness when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
dull hair. So a diet that's lacking in key nutrients, meaning you're not eating enough or you're not
Mm-hmm.
eating the right things to properly fuel your body, and then emotional as well, meaning stress and depression.
That's absolutely correct. Yes. So when the body doesn't have the proper nutrients, it shows up on the outside. So dull hair, dry hair, hair breakage,
Hmm.
hair loss, all of it is as a result of where the body is lacking nutrients. So we got to get that nutrition on board too, because hair grows from the inside out. So what you do on the inside shows up on the outside, and that's not just your hair, it's your hair, skin, and nails.
Right, right. And with that, I have to throw my little virtual hair club plug in for our wellness. Talking about wellness, Stacy leads that, so join us.
Yay.
All right. So last two, I kind of combined them because it was hard to separate. So solution and education. So our three, we went over product buildup, dry and damaged hair. So Miss Robin went into this a little bit. She touched on it greatly about detox, clarify, and deep cleanse when it comes to product buildup on your hair. So, like we've said, make sure you get your hair analysis kit one, so you get your healthy hair care plan, and you get to meet all of us anyways. I will look at your hair strands. Miss Stacy will do your pre-consultation and your post hair analysis review. Miss Robin looks over everything to make sure we are on the right track, and so you get all of us. Who wouldn't
Yes. A full hair care support team.
exactly, exactly. So that's product buildup. So you want to make sure you're using the right type of products for your texture, type, and condition. Get your hair analysis kit. So when we go into dry hair, hydrate, moisturize, and seal. So that would include using steam therapy, maximizing your hydration from the inside out. Humidifier might also be a great idea if you're somewhere that's really dry, so that that moisture from your hair isn't being pulled out. Leave some moisture in the air for it to stay. Prevent your hair from losing moisture and looking dull and dry. There's also shine sprays that you can use as well. That's more of an outside layer of shine. And then, I'm a little hesitant to say nourishing oils because we did see that picture about the layers of oils. So just, be very light.
Use responsibly.
Perfect.
Everything in moderation, right?
Use
Everything in
responsibly.
moderation.
Exactly. Now, damage. So strengthen, trim, and protect. So pay attention to your heating tools. We talked about this last week. Make sure that you are using ionic blow dryers and ceramic hair tools if you are heating. And my best recommendation is minimally, like once or twice a year. I don't know. Miss Robin might disagree with me, but I'm a true curly girl at heart. So, like,
Yeah.
just in
Yeah, I
moderation.
would say the cool thing about your versatility and how you style your hair to your preference. always have advice of how your particular hair ID can actually take heat, because some people can do heat every week and keep a beautiful curl pattern. Some people need twice a year. Some people can do every 2 weeks. And I think it's just according to how strong you want your curl pattern and your texture type and condition. And so
Excellent point.
I used to be a straight natural.
Right. And I did too in college.
I
I
can't
really
even.
want to straighten my hair, y'all. I'm thinking for my birthday, but
She's gonna be
Ooh,
so long.
I
right.
can't wait to see it. It's been over 2 years since
Oh,
Right.
I
that's the
straightened
same
it.
for me. I want to straighten mine too. I'm like,
Right.
That's a
like,
good twist.
That is a
like,
good twist. Yeah,
I,
you did a good
this
job.
is really good, right? Yes.
Right.
Hmm.
I also
So
want to plug in, you all see their elasticity, like shrinkage is a sign of health. So I know we all want our hair to look long and have length retention, but keep in mind that shrinkage is a sign of health. Candace, if she pulled hers down, the length,
right.
you Stacey's
Hmm.
length, you see Miss Robin's length. I mean,
And
so
this is after a 5-inch cut.
right.
Wow.
So shrinkage is a sign
Okay.
of health. I'll throw that in as well. Okay, so damage, right? Strengthen, trim, and protect. So trims are important. That will be determined based on your texture, type, and condition, how you wear your hair, what you're doing to your hair. So limit chemical treatments. And for this, I just want to highlight doing your due diligence on searching for the proper stylist when you are looking to do those chemical treatments. So the colorist.
Hence color. And
Right.
I would say that one of our audience, I can't even call her, one of our family members, formerly Straight Natural, she did a whole article about finding the right hairstylist and healthy hair
Mm.
expert. It was amazing. And she's a perfect person when you talk about that due diligence.
Mm,
Thank God MYAVANA now has a network of
right.
stylists that
Right.
we can recommend, but it's so important, not just for the health of your hair, but the energy of your whole experience,
Right.
because we care.
Right.
Because we can.
Right. And it's just like you said last week when it comes to the heating, it's the color and the colorist, or the dryer and the dryer, like the
Yes.
person. So those are very important keys. And then last, I just want to touch on sleeping on satin. So sleeping on satin, it causes less friction. Dulling increases as abrasion increases. So satin pillowcases, satin bonnets are highly recommended for um, to limit that dullness of your hair and the
Mhm.
abrasion that it causes. And then, of course, Strand Health and Body Wellness. We talked about getting the proper nutrients from whole foods, getting enough sleep, exercising, and then supplements if you need them.
Yes.
Yes, and vitamin E is really good in flaxseed.
Okay, see?
These
Vitamin
are
E.
such great tips. Yes. So we'll be adding this to our blog, everyone,
Mhm.
for those of y'all listening, so you can have your checklists. We're going to have some new MYAVANA hair essential kits coming soon. I could see a kit for each challenge,
Right,
honestly. If
right,
dull hair
Yes.
is your thing, here's your kit. We're just trying to make things easy, simple again.
right.
I love it. I love it. And what I thought about was, I can't wait for us to go back in and look at this and study,
Yeah.
because each and every set of strands, we have specific solutions
Hmm.
Yes, we
to
do.
customize and personalize for those challenges. So yeah, great job, Tanisha. Thank you.
Right.
Mhm.
Thank you all so much for joining our third episode of In the Lab with Maya Vana. I am Tanisha Billups, your hair analyst. We'll see you next week.
See
Yay.
ya.